It's time for the Glendale Devotional Podcast, a 5-minute weekday devotional ministry from Glendale Baptist Church in Glenn, Mississippi. The speaker is John Haynes. Now, here is Brother John.
Our passage today is Matthew chapter 5, verses 38 through verse 42. The passage deals with retaliation toward people, and I want to tell you in advance that today's truths from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount may be difficult to hear and are certainly difficult to live by. In fact, we might even think there's no way that I can do that. And you're right. Without the help of God, we can't live a Spirit-empowered life without the Holy Spirit of God within us. Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you not to resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. If anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, let him have your cloak also. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to him who asks you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, do not turn away." Truth is, life is lived in relationships. Jesus took what people had heard and had been taught and went deeper. Within the culture of Jewish people, the slap of your right cheek, as referenced in verse 39, was a backhanded slap that was both insulting and particularly unfavorable. As a result, Jewish law imposed a fine that was double than the one for an open palm slap on the left cheek. So Jesus clearly spoke of not retaliating against others who do you wrong, and that we should turn the other cheek. Now, not retaliating when someone insults us, slaps us, or defames us has to be something that God does within the heart of His people. Otherwise, we'll behave and reciprocate injustices toward us, and that simply shouldn't be the testimony of God's people. I learned this the hard way. When I was 15 years old, I could not wait until I turned 16 because you were able to get a public job at 16. And I had my heart set on working at Foodway in Houston, Mississippi. It was a grocery store. So I went to the store after my 16th birthday. I filled out a job application. I was nervous, wondering if I'd be able to do the job of a stalker and grocery bagger and do it well. So after submitting my application, I was called back to the store a few days later for an interview with the management. From there, it progressed, and I was told to complete a company-mandated personality test. It was kind of like those old achievement tests that we used to take in school. Remember those? One statement said something like, if I am working and someone comes up and hits me for no reason, I would hit them back. Well, as a 16-year-old boy, I marked strongly agree. And you better believe I was going to tag you back if you came and hit me. Even in spite of this, I left the store confident that I would get the job. After the examination was processed, the manager said, "John, I'm not going to be able to hire you. The company says that you're too violent." What? Violent? Well, needless to say, I was devastated. I fought back tears and told the manager, okay, I did mark strongly agree to the inquiry about hitting someone who started something. I shouldn't have felt that way. And this is what I said as a young 16-year-old boy. Mr. Jackson, I gave my heart to Jesus Christ this summer, and I cannot lie. It was wrong of me to have that attitude that I'd hit somebody for hitting me for no reason, but I have to tell the truth. So I left the store. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, man, I told the truth, and now look where it's gotten me. Later that day, the manager called the house. Mama answered the phone and then handed it to me. Mr. Jackson said, "John, I want you to come to work here at the store. I've reevaluated your score, and I believe you'd be a good fit." You know, I worked there for nearly 5 years. I never hit anyone. You see, we're all prone within our nature to get even and to strike back. Sometimes you have to bite your tongue, or walk into another room, or count to 10, or take some deep breaths. But the test of Christianity is not at the end of our life. No, the test of our faith is today as we walk with God in the cool or maybe in the heat of the day. Well, thanks so much for listening. Please join us tomorrow as we close out the week on the Glendale Devotional Podcast. Have a good and godly day.
Thank you for listening each afternoon at 12:05 on Fun 91 for the Glendale Devotional Podcast, presented by Glendale Baptist Church. To learn more about Glendale Baptist Church, please visit their website, gbcglen.com. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 70, Glenn, Mississippi 38846.